King Sombra is shrouded in mystery. Long ago, he took over the Crystal Empire and enslaved its people, but we don't know what led up to that, what influenced him. Besides rumors from questionable sources, we have nothing on this guy. But given what little we do know and what I've been piecing together these past few weeks, a full story emerges. One that fits quite nicely in equestrian history. This is the tale of a once beloved king, his fall from grace, and his descent into darkness. Hi, King of Appaloosa here. This video has spoilers from my last two videos, so if you'd like to watch them in order, feel free to pause and come back when you're done. For everyone else, on to the recap. In my last theory video, I used Cozy Glow as proof that X-alicorns are possible and suggested Sombra is also one. This would explain why the alicorn on the alicorn amulet looks just like him but with wings. Furthermore, I suggested the amulet itself is why Sombra is no longer an alicorn. It absorbed all the alicorn magic out of him. Now, in the video before that, I explored what it means to be an alicorn and how to become one. I came to the conclusion that somehow you have to absorb magic from all three tribes. Applying this idea to the different alicorns, it worked out pretty well. But what about Sombra? Let's put these two ideas together. If he became an alicorn, how did he absorb magic from the three tribes? The answer is central to who Sombra is. Let's get one thing out of the way. He didn't get his magic from the crystal ponies. If you haven't noticed, they don't even have Pegasi or unicorn magic to give. And no, that's not evidence that their magic had already been stolen, cause in all the times we've seen ponies drained of their magic, they kept their natural physical features. Cozy Glow lost her horn, but she was naturally a Pegasus in the first place. The only time we've seen ponies lose their natural wings or horns was with Discord in the main 6. So the crystal ponies were never unicorns and Pegasi. They were always, well, crystal ponies. They're their own thing, and you can tell them apart from earth ponies by the geometric glints in their eyes. So Sombra must have gotten his alicorn magic elsewhere. But let's put a pin in the alicorn conversation and talk about Sombra in general. What is he? Where's he from? We know he's not a crystal pony, but is he even a regular unicorn? He sure doesn't look like one. His horn is different, his eyes and teeth are different, plus he has that shadow form. So is he a so-called Umbrum as the rumors would posit? Not so fast. When Luna transformed into Nightmare Moon, she gained the same slit eyes and sharp teeth that Sombra has. She also had her own mist form. This makes me think Sombra started out as a normal pony, but just like Nightmare Moon, gained those features through a magic transformation. The whole shadow thing is just a type of magic that can be utilized, not its own race. Sure, there could be a whole species of shadow creatures, but we haven't seen evidence for that. It's much simpler and easier to say Sombra is a plain old unicorn, born in the unicorn tribe to unicorn parents. As for when, I'd say he was born back when the tribes were separated, but lived to see them come together. This has the added bonus of putting Sombra in a setting where he could absorb the magic from all three tribes and become an alicorn. So the stage is set, but where do we go from here? It's not like we know anything about this part of Sombra's life, right? Well, maybe we do. When the three tribes held a summit to address the growing blizzard, they each sent representatives. There was the ruler of the Pegasi, Commander Hurricane, the leader of the Earth Ponies, Chancellor Puddinghead. But the Unicorn's representative wasn't their top boss. Princess Platinum was introduced not as the Unicorn ruler or leader, but as daughter of the Unicorn King. What if that Unicorn King was Sombra? This would have been before he turned to dark magic, so Sombra may not have been his name. Based on his daughter's name, I think King Cobalt is rather fitting. Now we have a clear before and after, from respected king to evil tyrant. But how does such a big change happen? And where does the whole alicorn thing fit into this? I think it all comes down to one event in equestrian history that changed everything for Sombra. The Rise of the Royal Sisters. Without further ado, here's how I think it may have happened. How King Sombra came to be. Long ago lived the great unicorn king Cobalt. He was respected and loved among his people, but beneath his friendly smile was a lust for power, a lust that had been filled his whole life. But times were changing. The tribes had just come together into a single society, meaning the king had to share his power with the other tribe leaders. As much as he resented that, it was nothing compared to what was to come. The 6 unicorn wizards were growing too tired to bring forth day and night, and the equestrian people feared for the worst. But then, 2 young unicorn sisters stepped forward to take the wizard's place. A symbol of hope for Equestria, a symbol of doom for the king. King Cobalt glared as the sisters moved the sun and moon for the first time. The grateful people of Equestria poured out the love and light in their hearts, but not the king. The only thing in his heart was a seething jealousy. The sisters, basking in love and light from the 3 tribes, became alicorns, filling the king with certain dread that the last of his power was slipping away. Sure enough, the alicorn sisters were crowned, and the king was forced from his throne. The people didn't need a unicorn leader when the alicorns represented all 3 tribes at once. With bitter hatred, the king conceded. But he took note of what happened that day and devoted his time to studying ancient and forbidden magic. Many moons passed. It was the dawn of the first summer sun celebration. A crowd had formed to celebrate as the sisters changed night to day. But instead of their new princesses, they were met with their old king, looking grim and more sinister than they ever saw him. Using a dark spell, the king ripped magic from them and took it all for himself, transforming him into a fearsome alicorn. King Cobalt was dead. He was now King Sombra. Using dark magic, he fought the sisters and overthrew them. The Dark King ruled with an iron fist, demanding the allegiance of all beneath him. But one of those unicorn wizards stood him down. Well-versed in ancient magic and privy to Sombra's tricks, Starswirl the Bearded stepped forward with a gem. Casting a powerful spell, he pulled the stolen magic out of Sombra, causing his wings to dissolve in mid-air. The once again unicorn lashed back like a threatened animal, but Starswirl, thinking fast on his hoofs, used the magic to banish Sombra from Equestria. The problem was dealt with, but try as he might to return the stolen magic, Sombra's spirit had corrupted it. So Starswirl locked the magic in the gem and cast the gem into a frame of Sombra's image, a warning to anyone who should come across it. Meanwhile, Sombra was on his own, banned from the realm he once ruled, with nothing but himself, his magical ability, and his undying lust for power. Sensing a faint trace of magic to the north, he donned a robe to hide his wingless back and set off in search for more life to conquer. After much perilous travel, he found exactly what he was looking for. Sombra had always known the magic properties of crystals. Back when he sent his daughter to find a new land, it was the guiding criteria. But even the bounty of Equestria paled in comparison to this magnificent empire of crystal, a civilization full of magic ripe for the taking. Here he would take back his due place as king. As we know, he succeeded, crushing the empire under his hoof. But his rule was once again cut short. The very princesses he had overthrown years before came back for round 2. Sombra put up a fight, but this wasn't like last time. Knowing he stood no chance, Sombra cast a spell, causing the entire empire to vanish with him. If he couldn't have his treasure, neither could anyone else. 1,000 years later, when the spells wore off, he had one last struggle for the throne, which ultimately ended in his death. And that was the end of King Sombra. Well, until a chaos god LARPing as a dead goat brought him back so he could troll his friends, but you get the picture. So that's what I think happened. Sombra was the king of the unicorns who was replaced by the royal sisters, which led him to stage a coup, resulting in his banishment. Not only does this fit the timeline, it perfectly sets the stage for the parts of Sombra's life we know for sure about. After banishment, he searches for a new land, finds the empire, and takes over it. I think it works really well. But what do you think? Am I right about how Sombra came to be, or about his time as an alicorn? If not, what do you think really happened? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to support this channel financially, check out my reward tiers at patreon.com/sawtoothwaves. And thank you so much to everyone who already has, especially my Alicorn tier patrons: Itawin Wu, Melina Swiftwind, Petrolhead02, Josie, Hexstream, Gilded Page, Charlotte, Clayton, Oceana Love, Ghastly Spark, Maximilian HG, Cyanax and Yoshi Darklord, Skunkbunk, Houndflash, Mungo Jerry, Dr. Hooves, The Nameless One, Paco Taco, Darth Stylar 12, Cameo Shadowness, Fairfallen, and Equinox 3141. You helped make this channel possible. I'm Sawtooth Waves, signing out until Friday after next. Brohoo. Excuse me? Right, King Sawtooth. That's better. Now what is it this time, Brayburn? You've done eating all of our apples. This here's the last one. I'll give it to you if you take off your amulet. Ugh, whatever, just give me the apple.